Hello everyone and welcome back to My Opinion. And in this preview video, we're previewing the campaign of a side that's been rising through the ranks in the last few years. A lot of their players plied their trades in T20 leagues around the world, and especially with the spin contingent, you've got a lot of players emerging and who have emerged, and you'll think in the future they'll take T20 leagues by storm and will do very well for their countries. And the team I'm talking about here is Afghanistan. And looking at the squad, you've got a lot of players who are expected to be selected, but you've got a couple of players who I'm surprised at least one of those haven't made the squad. Someone like a Gulbuddin Naib not being included in the squad is surprising since he played the Asia Cup recently. I think he's playing in the Asian games where Afghanistan have knocked out Sri Lanka in the knockout game. And apart from that, you've got Naveen Ul-Haq returning after not playing the Asia Cup, and this will be his last ODI assignment before he retires from the format so early on in his career. And if you're comparing this to other players who have played over 100 games in this format and are doing so, this is in a slightly different situation. I think when players come to the fore playing for associate nations, I think in terms of looking for secure opportunities, T20 leagues are the way to go for them. Naveen Ul-Haq has played in leagues such as the IPL, the PSL, and in the CPL, so has already been entering into that fray. And if it's a case where he retires from ODIs and becomes a streamlined T20 bowler where he's available to play T20Is for his country and be applying the same trade in leagues, I think it's convenient for him. And you've got to understand the decision from his point of view, considering this isn't someone like a Quinton de Kock who's played over 100 games in this format and is well established in terms of the opportunities that he'll get. So I understand why he is doing it. And until the opportunities for associate nations become more secure, then you may see a few more players having to do that, unfortunately. And you've got the spinners who over the last few years, whether it be someone like a Rashid Khan and Mujibur Rahman and Noor Ahmed recently, and you've got someone like a Waqar Salam Kale who recently played in the CPL and in the SA20. So there are so many spinners emerging, and that's great to see. And as far as the batting is concerned, you've got a few of the household names such as Mohammad Nabi, who has seen the entire history of Afghan cricket, and especially one player who I'll talk about in the next part of this video, who I'm looking forward to watching him bat. Regarding how I think this 11 should go, I've gone at Rahmanullah Gurbaz and Ibrahim Zadran to open the batting, with Hashmatullah Shahidi at 3 and Rahmat Shah at 4, Mohammad Nabi at 5, Najibullah Zadran at 6, Rashid Khan at 7, Azmatullah Omar Zai at 8, Mujibur Rahman at 9, Noor Ahmed at 10, and Fazalak Farooqi at number 11. And starting off with the openers have scored a high percentage of runs for Afghanistan this year. One of those players being Rahmanullah Gurbaz. He averaged 34 this year with 2 centuries. Despite the fact that he's an exciting player to watch, is he the most consistent player in the world? No, he isn't. But in terms of the top 4, and I've said this quite a bit in the other videos, in terms of the top 4 looking to set the foundation for the others to follow, is Rahmanullah Gurbaz necessarily going to be measured in his approach? No, he isn't. He's going to walk out there and look to attack the bowling from the get-go. And despite that, he's been part of some good opening partnerships alongside Ibrahim Zadran. If they get a somewhat responsible version of Rahmanullah Gurbaz in this tournament, it would bode well for Afghanistan. He's got experience playing a handful of games in this format and has played in T20 leagues around the world. He's a first choice keeper in the side, and a somewhat responsible version of him in this tournament will help Afghanistan. And at number 3, you've got a player who, when I tune in to watch Afghanistan bat, and this isn't a case where I don't like to watch the others play, but half the reason why I tune in to watch Afghanistan bat is to watch Ibrahim Zadran bat. And he's a classy player, averages 47.8 this year, 4 50s in a century. And I really wish for him to do well this World Cup, taking to the big stage where a lot of people will be watching. And he's got the skill set to bat time in these conditions and lead the way with the bat for his side. He's someone that has quietly been doing well this year and has been averaging a very good 47.8 with the aggregate runs as well. And I think finally people are taking notice as to how good of a player Afghanistan have got on their hand. And I think he's perfectly suited to bat time in this format, in these conditions. And I wish him well to do well on the big stage. And at number 3, you've got Hashmatullah Shahidi, and he's averaged 30 this year, striking at almost 76. Rahmat Shah averaging 20 this year, striking at 73. You've got both those players where they've not averaged too many, but in terms of the top four, setting things up for the others to follow, you've got Ibrahim Zadran, Hashmatullah Shahidi and Rahmat Shah, which bodes well for Afghanistan considering their approach and they can bat time. And both Hashmatullah Shahidi and Rahmat Shah strike in the mid-70s for this year. They can strike it above that. But in my view, if they strike about that 80 odd and look to set the foundation, they'll have to bat for a long time. Then I still think it would go well for Afghanistan, where you've got the power plays in Mohammad Nabi, Najibullah Zadran and Rashid Khan, and you've got Azmatullah or Omar Zai can also do something as well. So the top four is going to have to bat a long while to set the foundation up for the others. In my view, Mohammad Nabi in most cases should not be out to bat before the 35th over or so. Yes, as a worst case scenario, you could be out to bat at the 30th over. But if he's out to bat even at the 25th, though, you've got Najibullah Zadran, who's more of a power hitter, Rashid Khan, more of a power hitter, Azmatullah Omar Zai can hit a long ball at the end, and Askan Mujibur Rahman at number 9. So you've got players that can bat for maybe Mohammad Nabi a decent amount of time, but the other players a relatively short amount of time and can add some quick runs. So the top four has to set the foundation for the others. And if they do that, Afghanistan can maybe look to get a 250 to 270 score. And you've got some fantastic spinners that on a turning surface can exploit things and they can challenge sides. And I think in that case, they can look to win games with the level of spinners that they've got. As far as the bowling goes, an economical spinner in Mohammad Nabi, the brilliance of Rashid Khan, you've got a Mujibur Rahman to bowl up front, and then you've got a Noor Rahman to bowl in the middle overs. Fazal Faruqi has taken 15 wickets in 11 innings this year. Now, why have I gone with Azmatullah Omar Zai over Naveen ul-Haq? Now, you'd have heard me say in previous videos that you shouldn't compromise your bowling attack for batting depth, but you've got to think slightly differently for this team. Now, there are two things here. One being their strength is spin, and I think they would benefit from playing 4 spinners. You've got 40 overs of spin there, plus the 10 overs of Fazal Faruqi. And if you're going for one of Naveen ul-Haq or Azmatullah Omar Zai, you've got to think if the seamer who plays either one of them will not bowl 10 overs, if you've got the 4 spinners there and Fazal Faruqi as well, then I think you've got to look at batting depth where already you've got a case where the earliest Mohammad Nabi can walk out is the 30th over, but even then the optimum time is the 35th over. You've got a Najibullah Zadran and Rashid Khan who will not hang around, they'll look to go gung-ho. If you've got those two even batting for the last 10 overs, can you rely on that phase to go unscathed for the full 10 overs? No, you can't. I think you've got a case where they could even be dismissed by the 5th or 6th over with the way they're going. And even if one of those two are dismissed, it opens the floodgates for, if you've not got Azmatullah Omar Zai in the side, a Mujibur Rahman who is a number 9 at best at this point in time. And then you've got Naveen ul-Haq, Noor Rahman and Fazal Faruqi. The batting almost falls off a cliff. And you're in trouble considering you don't know what you're going to get from number 6 and number 7 with the way they look to play. Can they bat time? And even in the top 4, looking to set the foundation, you've got a Rahman al-Gurbaz who you don't know what you're going to get from either. So that's why I'm saying, in the case where, if you look to play 3 frontline seamers, you've got a case where Naveen ul-Haq, Fazal Faruqi are the 2 bankable frontline seamers in the side. And then you've got Abdul Rahman who's inexperienced and has gone for runs thus far. So you can only play 2 frontline seamers, meaning they're much better off playing Mohammad Nabi and the other spinners. And if you're looking at a case where one of the seamers isn't going to bowl their 10 overs, and that's why I'm saying you've got Fazal Faruqi there, you don't need to play the Naveen ul-Haq. And even if Azmatullah Omar Zai bowls 4 or 5 overs, his batting will be handy at number 8. And I think someone like a Gulbuddin Naib, I'm surprised they haven't selected him for this tournament, because he would have given more assurance at 8 considering we know what he can do. I think we saw him play in the Asia Cup and he was decent. He could bowl, even if he bowls 4 overs on the day with Fazal Faruqi bowling 6, Gulbuddin Naib at number 8 will offer more assurance in terms of the batting. So without him being in the side, it's a bit of a miss, and they have to contend with the options they've got. Regarding reserves, they've got a young keeper batsman in Ikram Ali Kil who scored, I think, an 80 odd against the West Indies in their last group game in 2019 in that chase. Riaz Hassan, I don't know too much about. Naveen ul Haq, like I've said, I wouldn't play him in the side as of now. And Abdul Rahman, an inexperienced fast bowler. So they've not got too much backup there. They have got a steady Ikram Ali Kil, and I don't know how Riaz Hassan bats. So Ikram Ali Kil, maybe in a worst case scenario you could back, but the first 11's got to do for them. Like I said, they would have benefited from picking a Gulbadin Naib in the side, but let's see how they go. And in terms of games that they can do something in, I think you've got them playing against Pakistan in Chennai, and even against England in Delhi. Don't count Afghanistan out with the way England look to play. So I think you've got a few games that they can try and win. I think the problem is that you've got a couple of players, especially batting one position higher than they should be batting. And another thing is that if you're playing on a surface such as a surface that is better for batting, it's a higher scoring venue, I think it's a case where this side suddenly, if there's not much purchase for the spinners, you'd think the top four there, especially in the likes of Hashmatullah Shahidi and Rahmat Shah, they can strike at that 80 odd usually, but in terms of striking higher than that, they tend to struggle. And I don't think the side can generally keep up with the runs that would be on offer on the day. And if the spinners don't get purchased, then that derails their game plan. So let's see how this team goes. I'm sure they will go very close to winning a few games and even certainly win a few games in style. And yeah, I hope that they do well in this tournament. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and please share it with your friends. Remember, this is my opinion. What's yours?